Hey guys, how's it going? Justin here with Keystone Mountain Outdoors. So today what I wanted to do for you guys is a little bit of a comparison video between my Dillon XL 750 and my old press, which was a Hornady Lock and Load AP. Now I don't have the Hornady anymore. I actually sold it off to buy the Dillon. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a comparison between the two and kind of share my experiences and my kind of opinions about the two. So first off, let's kind of look at it from the outside. Let's look at it as if you were buying it. The differences between the two, we'll first start off with price. So the Hornady Lock and Load is about a $450 press. The Dillon 750 is about a $650 press. So there is about a $200 price difference. Now, one thing that you have to factor in there, the Dillon's going to come with the caliber conversion kit and basically ready to go. All you have to do is add dies to it. With the Hornady, you're going to have to buy the shell plate of the specific caliber that you're going to be loading. So if you're going to be loading 9mm, you have to get the 9mm shell plate in addition to the press as well as dies to get it up and running. So there's a little bit of difference there. That does kind of bring the price in a little bit better. $200 price difference. The shell plate's about $35, so that leaves us with about a $165 price difference. So the Dillon is still a fair bit more expensive. Now, both of these presses are kind of going to produce quality bulk ammunition. So you're more than likely going to want to set up both with a case feeder. I don't have a case feeder for the Dillon yet. It's on back order. There's nothing really I can do. I'm waiting for it to come in. I just got it. So the case feeder, and kind of looking at the price there, the case feeder on the Dillon is about $300. The case feeder on the Hornady is about $350. So we said there was about a $165 price difference, both set up to run one caliber. Whenever you get the case feeder, it is going to make the Dillon only about $115 more. And the Dillon case feeder, while I don't have the one for the 750, it's almost identical to the one on the 650. And the Dillon case feeders for the 650, 750 are a better case feeder, in my opinion, than the Hornady case feeder. They both work really good, but the Hornady is kind of known to have more problems than the Dillon is. So it's just kind of one of the things there. Again, price difference with a case feeder set up to run one caliber, about $115 price difference. So it's not as much as you would think from initially looking at the prices of the presses themselves. Now, where the Hornady does become exponentially cheaper is whenever you want to run multiple calibers, right? So if you want to load, say, 3 or 4 different calibers on the Dillon, you're going to have to get what's called caliber conversion kits for them. Basically what it is it's a shell plate, it's your different pins, it's your case feed tube adapter, as well as your primer insert, or excuse me, your powder insert. So the caliber conversion kits are about $80, but it comes with everything you need to switch it over. As opposed to with the Hornady, really all you need to do is buy the different shell plates, which are about $35. Now, another thing in changing calibers with the Hornady, it has the lock and load kind of quick change bushings, which is nice. With the Dillon, they have removable tool heads. So basically you release your fail-safe mechanism from your powder measure. You pull 2 pins and this whole tool head assembly pulls off. And you will replace it with a new tool head that's equipped with your dies, or you're set it up with your dies. So in switching calibers, I guess initially setting them up is going to be about the same, but the Dillon's going to be more expensive because the quick change bushings are about $20 for a pack of 4, opposed to the Dillon, you're going to have to buy the tool heads themselves. So these are about $35. And then most people are going to dedicate powder measures to each tool head. So you're going to want to buy separate powder measures. You could move your powder measure around and set it for different ones, but most people just dedicate powder measures to it. So the Hornady is going to be cheaper because it's just a lot cheaper. They're both relatively fast and relatively convenient once you actually get the stuff in. With the Hornady, you have to change the shell plate and you have to change out the dies, and if you have to make adjustments to your primer system or make adjustments to your case feed system or make adjustments to your powder measure, you go ahead and do that. With the Dillon, you swap out the caliber conversion kit with the case feed adapter, the shell plate, the pins, the powder measure insert, and then you just pop on your new tool head and you're good to go. So, they're both relatively easy, but again, Hornady gets the nod as far as if you want to load a bunch of different calibers, it's going to be a fair bit cheaper to do it initially. Now, as far as using them, going over some of the features that I really like about each of them, A cool thing about the Hornady is the fact that it's going to have a basically spring that holds your case in from falling out whenever it goes around. The Dillon, they use these little pins, and if you want to take out, say you want to take out your case just to confirm that your powder measure is throwing good, you would actually have to pull out this pin and then pull out your case to check it. With the Hornady, it's a spring, so you don't have to mess with the spring. You just pull on it, the spring releases a little bit, and then you pull it up off. Not a big deal, but definitely something worthy of mentioning there. A cool feature that the Dillon has that the Hornady doesn't is the low primer alarm system. So this comes with your Dillon 750 if you buy it. And basically whenever you get 3 primers or lower, this mechanism is going to fall and it's going to depress this and it's going to make a beeping noise. So that beeping noise is going to go on until you do something about it basically. And that's really nice because that basically makes sure that you don't start pumping out rounds without having primers in them, you know. On the Hornady, whenever you get low on primers, whenever you get empty, the follower will fall down and it'll hold the primer system back, but it doesn't make any sort of noise or anything like that. So you really have to make sure you pay attention whenever you're low on primers with the Hornady, as opposed to with the Dillon, you can kind of focus on your powder and stuff like that and focus on your bullets and not really worry about the priming system as much because it has an alarm whenever it starts getting low. So that's kind of a nice feature there. You should pay attention to everything, but I'm just saying the Dillon's a little bit more forgiving and you can focus on other aspects of the loading than worrying about the primers as much. Now, another thing that we can kind of talk about here is the smoothness of the presses. I think that the Dillon is a much smoother press. Like this is like a Swiss watch. The Hornady's not bad. It's a relatively smooth press as well. But the Hornady, I mean, comparing it to the Dillon is a fair bit smoother. Now again, it's more expensive, so you kind of get what you pay for there. They're both really good presses. Is the smoothness a big deal? No, but it is nice to have something that is as smooth as the Dillon. The Dillon is a piece of art as far as I'm concerned, as far as the actual operation of it. What else can we kind of talk about here? I really do like the Hornady lock and load bushings that we kind of talked about, but the shell plate is a very nice system as well. They both have their pros and their cons. So another thing I would like to bring up here is promotions. So typically Dillon doesn't run promotions, but Hornady is rather aggressive in their promotions. So if you buy the lock and load AP press, they're going to have, at least now and in years previous, they've had what's called the Get Loaded program. Basically what it is they're trying to entice you to buy their product by giving you free bullets. So whenever I bought my lock and load AP, I got 500 free 150 grain, 30 cal SP bullets. So they're giving you decent bullets, like they're not high end, they're not going to give you their highest end, but they're pretty decent bullets and you get 500 of them with the purchase of a lock and load press. That is kind of a really nice, kind of enticing deal. However, one thing I would kind of urge you guys, buy the press that you really like. If it has a promotion attached to it, then good. I'm not trying to stray you to or lead you to buy the Dillon. Buy whatever one you personally like. But, you know, the promotion's nice, but once you shoot those bullets, you're stuck with the press. So buy the press that you really want. Buy the press that you feel is going to fit you a little bit better. Again, typically Dillon's not going to run too many promotions, but that's because they kind of really don't need to. Dillon's kind of sell themselves. There's so many competition shooters out there. The 650, 750 is probably the most used press to load IDPA as well as USPSA competitions out there. There's just so many guys running these presses and loading bulk ammunition for competition. And for good reason, they're really great presses for that, as is the Hornady. The Hornady is an excellent option as well. Alright guys, so that's kind of summarize my opinions here and wrap up the video. So I think if you're buying either of these presses and your goal is to produce quality bulk ammunition, both of these presses are really good options. You can't really go wrong with either of them. If you're going to be loading a bunch of different calibers, I would say that the Dillon is easier to switch over for caliber conversions, but it is a little bit more expensive. It's kind of personal preference. They're both relatively easy to switch over calibers. They're both really good. In my opinion, if you're buying these, you should dedicate them to 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or 4 calibers at max and just load those calibers on them. And then stuff that you don't shoot high volumes of it. Like say maybe you shoot some 357, but you don't shoot a lot of it. Maybe load that on another press, whether it be a turret or like a Dillon 550 or something like that, and just leave your 750 or your Hornady lock and load. Leave it set up to load your bulk 223, 9mm, whatever you have it set up for. I think they're both really good presses, and kind of comparing the two that directly, I like the fact that the Dillon has the primer alarm system. I think that is a big deal in my opinion. I really do like it. I think the Dillon is a much smoother press. I don't have any experience with the case feeder on the Dillon yet. I have experience with the 650 case feeder, which is almost identical. And I guess since they're almost identical, I guess I could say, I think the Dillon case feeder is a little bit better. On the 650, it was a lot better than the Hornady case feeder. The Hornady case feeder is fine, it works, but it's kind of noisier than the Dillon, and also there's a lot of times where it'll spray brass down on you, so you have to be careful with that. But they're both really good. Again, the price difference can kind of shock people, but once you factor in the stuff that you have to buy for the Hornady, if you set them both up with case feeder and set them both up to do, say, one caliber, the price difference is only a little over $100. So it's not really that big of a difference when set up with case feeders. Now again, whenever you start doing more calibers, it's going to make the Dillon more expensive with each caliber that you add, because the caliber conversion kits are more expensive. So kind of my philosophy and my kind of idea here is the Dillon is a quality machine, the Hornady is a quality machine. Using both, if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick the Dillon. I really do like the Hornady, and I don't think you're going wrong if you choose a Hornady or if you say that you like a Hornady better. I think they're both really great machines, but in my opinion, the priming system on the Dillon, the overall smoothness, the overall fit and the finish and the quality, attention to detail, as well as the ease of just pulling pins and replacing tool heads. Even though it's more expensive, I do kind of like it better than the Hornady, and that's just kind of my opinion. But yeah, both of them are really great presses, guys. You're not really going to go wrong if you choose either or, but my vote goes to the 750. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comment section below, what do you like better? Do you have experience with one or the other? Do you have experiences with both? If so, which one do you like better? If you had to buy one, if you're not in reloading and you had to buy one, which one would you buy? Again, both of them are really great options, guys. Thanks for watching the video. As always, remember to like, share, subscribe. Go take a look at some other videos. Train hard, shoot fast, and most importantly, be safe, guys. God bless.